Hi, my name's Dr. Melanie Harned, and I am the developer of the DBT Prolonged Exposure Protocol for PTSD. And I am very excited to be doing our first ever intensive training in DBT-PE in Australia from February 16th to 19th. And it's going to be hybrid, so people can join us and have fun in person in Melbourne or log in online if that works better for you. And I want to also introduce you to my co-trainer, Annie.
Hi, I am Annie McCall, and I am super excited both to be coming to Australia for the first time, but also that doing this work and doing this training specifically with Melanie is one of my very favorite things to do. We don't often get to do it in person, so that is just, it's fun and life affirming to actually be in a space with human beings. And it is just really, I love the content of this training so much. I think people come in often, we've noticed people come in nervous about their ability to deliver the treatment. They're worried about targeting PTSD. They're worried about getting it right. Everybody takes this really seriously. And I think what we see over and over when we get to do this training is that people really do get it. And that at the end of the experience, they feel ready to do it. They understand in principle how it works. And they just get a really good sense both from how we sort of lay out the materials, but also there's actually quite a bit of video content of real live clients. And so you really do see the treatment in action in ways that I think are both confidence building and competence building for clinicians. So by the end, people I do think feel prepared and ready to do it.
And excited. That's one of the things I love about it too, is they go often from feeling quite anxious, understandably, unsure if they can do this, if they're up for it, to genuinely being excited to go back to start doing this treatment with their clients. And one of the things that we always hear from folks is that this feels like it's a critical missing piece from DBT. All of us who've been practicing DBT are well aware of that really high rate of trauma among the clients that we work with, and the need for trauma-focused treatment for many of these clients that has often not been delivered as part of the standard DBT treatment that we provide. So being able to add this into your treatment, I sort of think about it as like turbo boosting our outcomes for clients with trauma, which is many, if not most, of the people we treat in DBT.
And I would add to that that people often by day two of the training, when we talk about what readiness looks like, how do you know when it's time to start trauma treatment? Often people realize my clients might be readier than I thought they were. They often have a sense, okay, actually, I think we're ready to do this. And for those that aren't, they have a clearer pathway to develop readiness instead of what can sometimes feel like this kind of eternal crossing your fingers, like, I hope we get them ready. It's not yet, but I don't really know what it means. So I think people get clarity both on what readiness looks like and that some of their people probably could start. And also how do we really fine tune our DBT delivery so that we are preparing them really specifically and intentionally for trauma treatment.
Yeah, so I hope that you will come join us. We will walk you through in a really practical, hands-on way with lots of videos, like Annie said, from the beginning of pre-treatment of stage one, how to prepare people, build their motivation, decide if they're ready, and then session by session through the actual DBT-PE protocol and how to effectively tailor the treatment to their specific needs and specific characteristics, and hopefully get you excited by the end.
Can you say something, Melanie, about what this adds to the manual? Because the manual goes step by step through the session agendas and all of that. So why come to this if you could read the book?
Yeah, I mean, I really think the big thing that we add in with the in-person or with the hybrid training, either one, is truly the videos of therapy sessions. I think about, like for me, learning how to do a treatment, it has been most helpful to actually see it in action, and you can't get that from a book. And this is really video intensive training to see all sorts of different clients at all different parts of the treatment, really processing trauma effectively and making improvements. And I think that both reduces anxiety and increases hope that this can really work for all sorts of different clients.
Any thoughts for anybody who, when they hear there's lots of video content, gets a little queasy, thinking about like, ooh, like, is this heavy trauma content? What's it like to be a part of this training?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's true. We do show some heavy trauma content, and that is done really intentionally with a lot of preparation for our participants about what they're about to see and time to sort of process that afterwards. And I think it's really critical that people get a taste of what it actually is going to feel like and sound like and look like to talk about trauma in detail. It's done really intentionally, essentially as exposure to exposure, which I think is one of the critical ingredients for getting people's therapists to feel a little less anxious about doing this over time. So come join us. I promise
Yes.
it will be fun, even if you won't, if that sounds a little bizarre with such heavy content. We really do have a good time and look forward to seeing many of you, I hope, in Australia.
Yes. Come hang out, sign up online. Either way, glad to have you there.